जयो राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन भज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् वै चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All Gauris assembled devotees, all Gauris assembled devotees, all Gauris assembled devotees, all Gauris, all Gauris, all Gauris, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Vidura approaches Maitreya, Text 25. Vidura uvacha, Vidura uvacha, Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham, Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham, Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste, Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste, Vaktum bhavanarhati yaddi Vishnu, Vaktum bhavanarhati yaddi Vishnu, Britya svabrityartha kritas charanti, Britya svabrityartha kritas charanti. Vidura uvacha, Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham, Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste, Vaktum bhavano harati yaddi Vishnu, Britya svabrityartha kritas charanti. Vidura uvacha, Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham, Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste, Vaktum bhavano harati yaddi Vishnu, Britya svabrityartha kritas charanti. Vidura uvacha, Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste, Bhaktum bhavanorhati yadi Vishnor Vitya brihvitya takritascharanti Viduravacha Jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham Raha yogeshvara ishvaraste Vaktum bhavano hritiyaddi Vishnu Nitya svabhritya takritascharanti. Any Mataji's? Vidura uvacha Jnanam svatmaraha prakasha Yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste Tum bhavano nirhyati Vritya svabhritya takritascharanti Vidura uvacha Jnanam param satmaraha prakasham Yada yogeshvara ishvaraste Bhaktum bhavano hridiyaddi Vishnu Nritya svabhritya takritascharanti. Vidura uvacha. Vidura said, Jnanam, knowledge, param, transcendental, svatma, regarding the self, raha, mystery, prakasham, enlightening, yat, that which, aha, said, yoga ishvaraha, the master of all mystics, ishvaraha, the Lord, te, unto you, vaktum, to narrate, bhavan, your good self, na, unto me, arhati, deserve, yat, for, he, reason of, Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, Britya, servants, Swabhrityartha kritaha, for the interest of their servants, Charanti, do wander. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Vidura said, O Uddhava, because the servants of Vishnu, the Lord, wander in the interest of serving others, it is quite fit that you kindly describe the self-knowledge with which you have been enlightened by the Lord Himself. That's the purport. The servants of the Lord are actually the servants of society. They have no interest in human society other than to enlighten it in transcendental knowledge. They are interested in imparting knowledge of the relationship of the living being with the Supreme Lord, the activities in the transcendental relationship, and the ultimate goal of human life. That is the real knowledge which can help society achieve the real aim of human welfare. Knowledge in the matter of bodily necessities of eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing, transformed into various branches of advancement of knowledge, is all temporary. A living being is not the material body, but an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Being, and thus revival of his self-knowledge is essential. Without this knowledge, the human life is baffled. The servants of the Lord Vishnu are entrusted with this responsible work, and so they wander over the earth and to all other planets in the universe. Thus, the knowledge which was received by Uddhava directly from the Lord deserves to be distributed in human society, especially to persons like Vidura, who are highly advanced in the devotion service of the Lord. Real transcendental knowledge descends in the disciplic succession from the Lord to Uddhava, from Uddhava to Vidura, and so on. Such supreme transcendental knowledge is not possible to achieve by the process of imperfect speculation as performed by the so-called learned, mundane wranglers. Vidura was anxious to know from Uddhava that confidential knowledge known as Paramam Sthitim, in which the Lord is known by his transcendental pastimes. Although Vidura was older than Uddhava, he was anxious to become a servant of Uddhava in the transcendental relationship. This formula of transcendental disciplic succession is taught by Lord Chaitanya also. Lord Chaitanya advises one receive transcendental knowledge from anyone, whether a Brahmana or a Shudra, a householder or a sannyasi, provided that person is factually conversant with the science of Krishna. A person who knows the science of Krishna is factually a bona fide spiritual master. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for today morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, especially on the auspicious day 2 of Mahashivratri. Yesterday and today, both days we are celebrating the festival of Shivratri. And one of Lord Shiva's favorite activities is to narrate and to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. There is I think in Guruvayur, a devotee was reciting the Bhagavatam, and Lord Shiva, he wanted to again and again hear the pastime of Rukmini Kalyanam, the pastime of Rukmini getting married to Lord Krishna. So, this particular verse and this section is where Vidura going through all the insults and his resolve to focus his exclusive attention on the purpose of life, to purify oneself, comes very much in this section, where he is not discussing about how can this happen, all that has happened. He is just feeling very fortunate to be able to get the association of Uddhava, and he is inquiring from Uddhava, and he is glorifying the devotees here in this verse, saying that the devotees who are servants of Lord Vishnu, on his behalf, on the Lord, on the behalf of the Lord, they are traveling all over the world to distribute this Param Jnanam. And once Gurudas Prabhu asked Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, we are distributing so many books all over the world. What if one day that everyone has all the books and everybody has become a devotee? Then what will we do then? And then Prabhupada said, then we'll go to other planets to preach. Now that this planet is covered, so that's what here is being said by Prabhupada, that that to deliver, to wander over the earth and to all the other planets in the universe. So it is universal compassion, that it is not just the living entities are only suffering in India or in Africa or in America or on the earth planet. Without Lord Krishna's connection and devotion, everyone is suffering in this material world. And therefore, a devotee is taking all types of risks to go and preach. Long back, ISKCON Prabhu had spoken about Lord Narada Muni's different adventures to go and share Krishna consciousness in different places. And then he said that Narada Muni and devotees, for the sake of preaching mission, they develop this rasa. And he gave acronym for rasa, called as this RAS, he said, as risk addiction syndrome. That they are taking all types of risks, and there is a thrill that you get, when you take a risk to go and share the message. Because many times when we even want to distribute a book, there is so much hesitation in us only. Will he take or not? Will he, insult me? Will he neglect me? But we take a risk. We put the book ahead, or to relatives or family. So a preacher or a devotee of Krishna, he takes that risk, and in fact, he becomes addicted to taking risks and to please the Lord and to preach the message. And one of the commentaries, they say that this Paramam Sitim, which Prabhupada is mentioning here, that Uddhava had the confidential knowledge. What was that confidential knowledge which he was going to go and share in the Badrik ashram to these rishis? Because they were already self-realized. All these rishis, they have the association of Naranarayana rishis. But the most confidential information of the land of Vrindavan, the Brajabhumi, which not everyone could go. It was Uddhava that was sent by Lord Krishna to go and experience that place and what is the devotion that they carry. And therefore, Uddhava was given this task to go and share this most transcendental confidential information, which Prabhupada mentions here as Paramam Sitim. How they are situated in the highest absorptions of Krishna in great suffering. And there is a story connected to Lord Shiva with this. And that story is that when Sati had passed away, Lord Shiva was in so much separation from Sati that first of all he removed two of his hair, and he created this Virabhadra who went and destroyed Daksha, the whole place, and then after requesting, Daksha was replaced with a goat head. And even then, Shiva's anger didn't subdue. And Shiva was carrying Sati's body and he was doing Tandav. There is one Tandav which is called as Pralaya Tandav, which happens at the end of the universal time when destruction has to happen. But this was Akala Tandav. It was not a timely dance, but it was more horrific and devastating than the Pralaya Tandav. So everybody was worried that how can we stop, subdue the anger of Shiva and make him calm down. And all the devatas, they approach Lord Vishnu that please pacify Lord Shiva. And Lord Vishnu, he says that till the body of Sati is there in the hands of Shiva, it is giving him more and more feelings. And he is becoming more and more in the feelings of separation, and that is causing anger. So as he is dancing Shiva with Sati's body, Lord Vishnu, he releases his Sudarshan Chakra in a sequential way, that at different places, one anga of Sati is cut off. And slowly, the entire body of Sati is gone from Shiva's hand. And Shiva was in such anger and in his dance that he didn't realize that Sati's body has vanished from his hands. And wherever Sati's body fell, they became the different Shakti Pitams. Around 56 Shakti Pitams are there, where all different limbs of Sati fell, who is Shakti personified, fell. And the moment Shiva realized that even Sati's body is taken away from me, he became even more angry and even more in separation, because it was true love, even more separation and more anger. And then he releases a curse. Whoever has done this of taking Sati's body from me, he will also suffer the separation from his beloved. And then he realizes it was Lord Vishnu who had done this. And then he immediately begs forgiveness, that I didn't knew that it was you who did this for the universal benefit. So please forgive me. But because and Vishnu says it was my own arrangement to utter this curse from you, because in the next avatar of Lord Ram, I'll be separated from Mother Sita, and I'll be feeling the pangs of separation that you have felt for Sati. I will feel for Sita. And then Shiva, he wants to help to relieve the pangs of separation that Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu is going to feel. And then he says, I will come, one of my expansions, who is Hanuman, will come to remove this suffering from you. And therefore Hanuman becomes the instrument to unite Sita and Ram. And so these great feelings of separation that Krishna was feeling, Lord Ram was feeling from Sita, that intensified even more in the pastime of Krishna, where Krishna was, after a decade of being with the Brajvasis, for a century, he could not meet the Brajvasis. And again, constantly he was remembering the Brajvasis, but he could not go. And Krishna Abhishek Prabhu, in his recent class, he was explaining that the reason was because his purpose was to establish dharma and to vanquish all these evil kings. And usually the demoniac, they try to find your weakness and they try to attack what is dear to you. And if Krishna had gone to Vrindavan, then the demons would have attacked Vrindavan, because even Kamsa, that was his thought. And for some of the demons, they were sent to Radha, because Radha is the power of Krishna, to somehow subdue her or overpower or kidnap her. But whoever went to Radha, they all became, she engaged them in the service. Or Vishnu Prabhu tells these beautiful stories. So Krishna was feeling this great separation, and in that great separation was the highest intensity of remembrance. And Uddhava witnessed that, and he wanted to just be a speck of dust at the feet of these gopis. There is a place called as Gyan Gudri in Vrindavan, where Gyan Gudri means a basket. So Uddhava, with all his transcendental knowledge, the Vidya, it was like a big basket that with which he went to pacify the Vrajavasis. Krishna sent, saying that, go and pacify, they are in great separation, please go and pacify. So in this, so when Uddhava comes to Vrindavan with his basket of wisdom to pacify the gopis, but their separation and their hankering, their absorption in Krishna was so huge that just like when a person is wearing a cap and he has to look at a skyscraper, and the more he keeps looking up and up, at one point his head is looking so up that his cap falls away. Same way, this huge basket of knowledge, wisdom that Uddhava was carrying, seeing the intensity that the gopis had, as he was trying to make an estimation of their depth and their the intensity of their feelings for Krishna, all his Jnana Gudri, it fell off, and he became totally humbled that I was thinking that I love Krishna, but now I see what is truly to be in love for Krishna. And then Krishna wanted this highest of realizations that Uddhava had to be shared to the rishis in Badrik Ashram and all over the world. And of course, Prabhupada mentions that Lord Chaitanya, he came to give us that highest of that access, that which we don't usually have. Anarpita charim chirat karanaya avatirna kalau samarpitu munnotojvala rasam swabhakti shriyam. That is that which is rarely obtained, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give to all of us who are most unqualified in this day and age, just by serving the Vaishnavas and taking shelter of the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'll speak a little bit more about Shiva because today is Shivaratri in this context. So, Sati's body had vanished, and Shiva was a bit pacified, and of course he begged, Lord Narayan to forgive him, and that how he'll help to get back Sita. But still, he was not fully himself. And one narration says that he was not doing his duties of devastation and the blessings that he gives. He kind of became secluded, went away. Another narration in the Puranas, especially Kalidasa, who compiled this whole story in Kumara Sambhava, which Prabhupada also mentions. So that says that Shiva went into tapasya, into samadhi, absorption in Krishna, and also in separation from Sati. And that at that moment there was this demon called as Tarakasura, who got this benediction from Brahma that only the child of Lord Shiva can kill me. No one else can kill me. And now Shiva, is not at all interested to get married. But all the devatas go, and because this Tarakasura was creating so much trouble for the entire universe, Lord Shiva was requested that please, agree to be married, and we will arrange proper bride who is as good or as Sati, again taking birth. So it said that all the devatas, they went to the Himalayas and they started to do tapasya to request Sati to take birth again so that she can marry Shiva. And that time, Himalaya, the king of the Himalayas and Maina Devi, the queen, they also see that all the devatas are performing tapasya. They also sit for tapasya to request Sati to be again be born in their womb, and also with the intention to give in marriage to Shiva. And Sati, who is Shakti personified, she saw that now my parents, because the previous parents did not agree to get married to Shiva. And when that happened, they somehow, because of social pressure, they agreed. But now she saw that now the parents are fully ready for giving in marriage. So she descended into the womb of Maina Devi, and whom we know as Parvati. And once Parvati grew up, then it was, and since childhood she was great devotee of Shiva. She was constantly worshipping and remembering Shiva. So then the marriage date was decided. And when the time of the marriage had to be decided, and when Shiva was consulted, and Shiva, he said that the marriage will not happen in the day, it will happen in the night. And what was the reason? He said that all my associates will also want to attend the marriage, and all my associates are active in the night. He is Bhutanath. So therefore he chose Ratri. Usually marriages happen in the day. he chose Ratri time. Uh, some say it was, of course, some Puranas say it was in the night of Shiva, Ratri, that the marriage was decided, and all the devatas, they all were excited for the marriage. And one of the main things in marriage is, to get decked up, to come in the best of their attires. So it said that all the devatas, they became very busy in getting ready for the marriage. And Shiva, although he agreed, he was not getting ready. He was sitting in his samadhi, remembering Krishna, Vishnu. And all the bhutas, they are all getting very restless. That how will, no? Because if you are not ready for the marriage, how will you go? So then they saw that nobody is coming to get ready Shiva. And Shiva has no parents. Usually for the child, the parents take care of everything. So because Shiva has no parents, and Shiva was also in his samadhi. So then the bhutas, they only decide, if nobody is coming, let us only do the Shringar of Shiva. And in the Ramcharitmanas, this description is there. Shiva hi Shambhu Gana Karhi Shingar. That Shiva's Ganas, all the bhutas, they only decide, they decide, let us do the Shringar of Shiva for the marriage. So for the marriage, you get the best of the dresses. But for the bhutas, they are first you have to get, bathe the person with best of the ingredients. So what did they do? They went to the crematorium and got the hot ashes, fresh ashes, to bathe Shiva. Because they are of that, nature. What is best for them is the crematorium ashes. So Tana Vibhuti Pata Kehiri Chala. So they bathe Shiva with the Vibhuti, with the ashes. And then the bride has to have a crown. Where will they get the crown from? The jata that Shiva has, that jata they took it up and they made it into a crown. And then they put a peacock feather on top of it. Because Shiva was in remembrance of Krishna. So they put a Moru Savara. They put a peacock feather. And then ornaments are needed. Where will they get the ornaments? So for the bangles and for the bracelets and all that, they got different sizes of snakes. And then they put all these ornaments on Shiva, the bhutas. And then you need a dress. So that they found a deer skin that was available. They brought the deer skin and put on Shiva. Otherwise it was Digambar. They put this deer skin on Shiva, and then they were very happy with the decoration that they made for Shiva. For what? For the marriage. But of course, in the description, it is said that Shiva is telling that, no matter how much you bathe or decorate yourself, ultimately you're going to become ashes. So therefore, he allowed himself to be covered with ashes. And all these ornaments, all the wealth, the people try to show off or display, if that is not properly utilized in service, then they become like snakes that bite you. Yes, and then what to speak of earrings? Kundala kankana pahire byala. For the kundal, for the earrings, they found scorpions. Because scorpions, their shape is like kundal. Like they are like this and there is a thing. So they got scorpions and they put on Shiva's earrings. But Shiva's, Mahadev, yeah, he didn't feel the bite of the scorpions. And all this is, in great remembrance of Krishna. And then there has to be a barat. There has to be a dancing. So all these bhutas, pretas, they started to bring Shiva on a bull. Usually, a groom comes on a horse. But Shiva chose a bull because bull represents dharma. Usually the horse represents kama, but the bull represents dharma. And the whole purpose of him getting married was to establish dharma by bringing the progeny of Kartikeya or the Kumara, so that Tarakasura can be killed. So he rides on this bull, dharma personified, and as he is coming, so all the devatas, they also get ready and they all come to Kailash. And they see this, the dance of the bhutas, all these pishachas, hobgoblins, and they get terrified that if we let these lead the procession, then before we even enter the wedding area, they'll close the gate. So let's not let us surround ourselves, this main marriage party, with ourselves. So all the devatas surround the entire thing, and when they surround, then Shiva feels that my party is very small. The Bhutaganas who reside in Kailash, they are very small, that we should be equally numbered to the devatas. Then it said, Lord Shiva tells Nandi, go and get all the bhutas that are there in all the crematoriums of the world. So everybody gets an invitation, and there was no delay. They don't have a material, physical body. So instantly they all come and they're all doing dance. And as they start to enter, so when all the devatas are entering, Vishnu is in the front, and Maina Devi and the Himalaya king, is waiting. So when they see Vishnu and all the devatas coming, they feel very happy. See what kind of marriage we have, that all the devatas are coming. And because Vishnu is in the front, usually the bride is in the front, Maina Devi thinks that Vishnu is going to get married to Parvati. So she goes to garland. And Vishnu said, no, the bride is behind. He is so beautiful that we thought we'll protect him till we enter the arena, else you'll all get mortified. Everybody will collapse seeing the beauty of Shiva. So please wait. So then, as the procession comes inside the wedding, then all the devatas, they disperse to show all these bhutas and the Bhutanath, Bhuteshwar, Shiva. And the moment Maina Devi sees Shiva in this attire for coming to marry her daughter, she immediately faints. And then the whole proposal was in fact done by Narada Muni, who inspired. So in the Ramcharitmanas, Maina Devi, once she wakes up, she is saying, Narada kare मैं कहाँ बिगाड़ा. She is saying, Narad, मैंने तुम्हारा क्या बिगाड़ा है? What did I do to you that you have got such a bride, groom for my daughter? Bhavanu mora jina basatu ujara. That if I marry, because although she knew the glories of Shiva, she never took darshan of Shiva, because Shiva Tattva is not easy to understand. Then Vishnu, he comes and glorifies Shiva's position, and then he requests Shiva, Lord Shiva, that शादी बार बार नहीं होती है. Please, assume a beautiful form so that it's a beautiful marriage. So then Shiva, he transforms himself into Sundareshwar, the most beautiful form, and therefore is known as Sundareshwar, and 9 feet tall. And then the marriage of Shiva happens on the night of Shivaratri. And it said that when the Bhutas were dancing, it was so reckless and so say wild, that everybody just went at different corners to hide themselves. And I was reflecting, sometimes in Prerna this happens. Sometimes in the Prerna, when the boys start to dance, all those who are not of that age, they kind of go. And usually Prerna dancing happens 9:30, 10 o'clock. Seems like this kind of bhutas come to dance. I was reflecting that way. And then then after the marriage happens, then they go back to Kailasha. And within a week of all the whatever the rituals, I'm cutting short, Parvati, she comes to Shiva with a request. And because Shiva was in Samadhi, he got married and then he again went into Samadhi, chanting the names of Ram. So Parvati waited for a week and then he approached Shiva. And she and what was the request? Of course, one request was, the whole purpose of marriage was to beget Kumara, Kartikeya, so that Tarakasura can be killed. And another is that you are so much in deep absorption of Lord Ram, I want to hear about him. Can you please narrate to me the story and the glories of Lord Ram? And when Shiva hears about her eagerness to hear about Ram, that is the time when Shiva totally accepts Parvati, because she is also loving Lord Ram like him. And then he says, Dhanya Dhanya Giriraj Kumari, Tumo Saman Nahi Koi Upakari. And she says, you have done such a act of charity for me by asking me to speak about Lord Ram. And one of the Kathakars says that just 1 week of marriage and the satsang has started. Therefore, Shiva and Parvati are a ideal grahastha couple who are always engaged in hearing and chanting about Lord Ram, Lord Krishna. And that's where he says this, that Mangala Bhavana Amangala Hari. Wherever Lord Krishna's, Lord Ram's glories are sung, that Bhavan, all the Amangal there vanishes. Dravau Sau Dashrath Ajira Bihari. Where Lord Ram's glories are sung, where that place there is no Amangal that can happen. So this is a beautiful story of how Shiva gets married to Parvati, and of course in the Puranas, how Kumara is born and how he does the great battle with Tarakasura and how he ultimately kills him. The whole thing is there, and Prabhupada mentions this, that I think in the Bhagavad Gita, the Dhira, when he explains about Dhira, he mentions that how Shiva was so self-controlled that even when Parvati came to touch his genitals, even that time, because all the Devatas were eager that Kumara is born. But Shiva was so self-controlled because being in absorption. And Shiva's Rupa, that first of all is Jata, personifies, symbolizes renunciation, that he is not here to impress or be attracted to this world. Therefore, he stays in a crematorium. Although he blesses everyone with wealth and prosperity, he himself shows that how he is not attached because he is absorbed in Krishna. Therefore, his jata represents renunciation. And on top of his jata is the Chandra, is the moon, which personifies that only when you are satisfied and cool like the moon, then only you can renounce. If you are too disturbed, if you are not satisfied, if you are not cooled down, then you'll naturally want to look for things in the world. And why is he feeling cooled down? Chandra represents because the Ganga is on top of him. Ganga Devi is coming. And Ganga Devi is the Charnamrit of Lord Vishnu. And because he is taking the Charnamrit on his head, Radha Krishna Padodakam, the water that has washed the feet of Lord Krishna Vishnu, because he is taking that on his head, and because of that, the devotion, he is in a peaceful mind, and because of his peaceful mind, he is able to detach himself from this world. So therefore, on the day of Shivratri, let's dedicate ourselves to serving Krishna, and whatever activities we do, it is like here it said, they have no interest in human society other than to enlighten it in transcendental knowledge. And the servants of the Lord are the actually servants of society. Because and in the Gita, 6th chapter, Krishna says, my devotees, they are sarva bhuta hitirata. They are constantly working hard to do welfare to all living entities. Therefore, Prabhupada also signed as your ever well-wisher. They're always thinking of the welfare of others. So I say this, that there are well-wishers in this world and there are well-pushers in this world. Those who put us into trouble. So let us take shelter of the devotees who are our true well-wishers, who will connect us to Krishna, like Lord Shiva. And with their blessings, we can also get absorbed. And there is one more aspect which I wanted to just mention, that in Radha and Krishna, Radha personifies compassion and Krishna is usually dharma, prema and dharma. In Shiva Parvati, it's the reverse. Shiva is usually compassionate because he is also deeply absorbed in Srimati Radharani. Radha Kripa Katakshostra he only wrote. And it is Durga, Parvati, who is establishing, who takes different avatars to kill the demons. Krishna takes avatars to establish dharma. Also Durga takes avatar. And both are from same family. Subhadra and Jagannath Krishna, they are in the same family. And then Shiva, who takes the compassion aspect, therefore is known as Ashutosh. He is very merciful, therefore he even shelters the bhutas who cannot directly approach Krishna, he shelters them. So this is like juxtaposing between these two divine couples, Radha Krishna and Shiva Parvati, that Shiva personifies the compassion that Radharani originates, and dharma, which Krishna establishes. Durga also does that activity. So we'll stop here. If there are any clarification question, else can be taken one-to-one. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Mahashivratri ki, Jai Gaur Premanandi.